Making high quality cards at home normally involves some kind of compromise. Photo paper can create a great image, but it may feel too thin or too flexible. Sticker paper methods can look excellent, but they require a mounting, alignment, extra cutting pressure, the risk of bubbles or peeling. Adding laminate creates another layer, but another opportunity for something else to go wrong. This paper that you guys are going to be seeing today is designed to remove most of the extra steps. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 313 GSM double-sided blue core satin finish inkjet cardstock from Cody at Crowned Cardstock. You can contact Cody directly on his Discord, Cody0059. For transparency, Cody sent me this stuff to test. No money or anything exchanged hands. My review is my own. I wasn't told to say anything. This is just me giving you guys my thoughts on the thickness, the quality, the image quality, the rigidity, all that stuff is my complete own review here. Well, what is it? This paper is 313 GSM, approximately 370 microns thick. That's roughly 15 to 20% bigger than your average Magic card thickness wise. Slight, but we'll get into more of that later. It's got a blue internal core. Looks a little bit more grayish black, but we call it blue core. Printable on both sides, which is a huge bonus for those that love their double-sided cards. It's got a satin-coated finish, as you guys can see here. I mean, that finish is just beautiful. It looks so much like an actual Magic card. I mean, it is just beautiful. I mean, I really, really like it, and I'm sure you guys will like it too, but let me save that for the end of the video. It's got really good compatibility because this is the first time we've had a paper like this that we can print that will work with inkjet printers. There's been paper like this before, but it did not work with inkjet printers, and this may have solved quite a few of those problems, if not all of them, depending upon what you're looking for. Again, the main appeal for this is the simplicity. The simplicity is just amazing. I mean, there's no longer any extra crazy layers. I mean, lamination for me is just a big no. That's just too much. I mean, I get it. It helps with the rigidity. It helps with, keeping the image clean and smudge free and all that stuff, and makes the thickness good. You can kind of use whatever lamination packs that have the thickness you need to get closer to a Magic card, depending upon your card stock. But it's just not for me. It helps. I mean, if you're printing out entire Commander decks, you don't have to do all that. I mean, for those that are already out there making proxies, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Printing entire decks when you have lots of great ideas. I mean, you could be sitting there one day, think of a really cool deck idea, and just be like, well, it's probably not worth the time and effort to print it out, laminate it, cut it, and all that stuff. And I agree. I completely agree with that. But for me, I'm going to jump in here now to my printer. I print with the Canon PIXMA G620. I know that's probably not how to say it. That's how I say it. Before buying it, I seriously considered spending more on the Epson EcoTank 8500. However, while the 8500 is an excellent printer, it is faster, has a better screen, offers more advanced paper handling, and uses a pigment black that can help with sharper text and smudge resistance. I didn't actually notice any smudging or anything with my printer on any of the paper that I've printed on. I don't know if I'm just getting super lucky or what, but so far in my short endeavor here with these proxies, I'll say my G620 has had no smudging whatsoever that I've noticed. And my blacks look amazing. Having said that, the automatic duplexing does not offer much of an advantage over for cardstock like we're talking about today. Thick-coated media still needs to go through the specialty feed, and I would personally print on one side, let it dry, flip it manually, and print the second side anyway. So having that one advantage over my G620, I don't see the extra $200 I'd need to spend on the 8500 to do that. And even if that was the only advantage, I would still get the G620, and let me explain. It gives me better control over the drawing, as I said, by having to manually flip, so I'm going to do that regardless. But here's where it gets interesting. The printers also both use a 6-color dye system. Well, 5 for the Epson with 1 pigment, but I'll explain. The Epson uses a dye-based cyan, magenta, yellow, gray, and photo black, along with a separate pigment black. G620 uses 6 dye inks, including a dedicated red and gray. Red expands the range of saturated reds and oranges the Canon can reproduce, which matters for colorful card artwork. The Epson may have an advantage in some dark tones and some small black text, but I actually haven't had any issues with my black text, as I can show you guys. But from the comparisons I researched and the owners I spoke with, I prefer the overall vibrancy of the Canon output. I really, really like the colorfulness and the vibrancy that the Canon produces right out of the box. I mean, you don't have to do anything crazy with the settings or anything like that. I leave them default and it's just beautiful. For me, the G620 offer the best balance of vibrant 6-color printing, refillable ink tanks, low ink cost, which is important for when you do proxying, and the rear feeding, which obviously helps with using the big pieces or thick pieces of paper. Don't use the little tray system that takes the paper and flips it and goes around the roller. You don't want that with this thick paper. Number one, it's probably not going to work. Number two, you're going to get marks on that paper and you're going to ruin the finish. Not a good idea. As for the paper size, it's going to be A4 paper, not letter. That's very important, guys. A4 paper, not letter with this particular paper. The media type, I put mine to double-sided glossy with my printer. However, depending on what your printer is, you may have to put it onto a different setting. Today, I'm just talking about the G620 and its settings. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on the other printers that I haven't currently printed this particular paper on. So I put mine on double-sided glossy because it has performed very, very well. It gives me a great image on the paper, as well as putting it on that setting allows it to feed through the printer better because it thinks it's a thicker paper, which this is. It's kind of like a little trick. The print quality goes from 1 to 5. I put mine on a 3. Putting it on a 1 is the best setting for the best quality. A 5 is the worst quality, but least amount of ink. I put it on the 3 because with cardstock like this, with this printer being already so vibrant and beautiful, putting it on the 3 allows the printer to put less ink on the paper itself, which is what you want. You want to be putting less ink on the paper because it makes the image brighter. I noticed by putting it up to the highest quality setting, I didn't notice really any quality increase, even under a magnifying glass. I didn't see any increase really at all, even in the small text, no increase. However, what I did notice by decreasing the print quality within the settings was the image got brighter because it put less ink into the paper. This is not your average letter size paper. It is a 4. The wrong size paper could really mess this up. And again, I know what you're thinking. If you do have this printer, why aren't you, the printer has a satin option. Why aren't you clicking that? The satin option, for I don't know whatever reason, and especially the other options, it tends to grab the paper. The printer itself grabs the paper harder, which will leave streaks and marks along the paper itself because it's trying to clamp down harder on a paper it thinks is thinner. And also, for whatever reason, Glossy 2 just gave me a better image quality. I've tested it on multiple papers as well. Another important setting is using the turning on the prevent abrasion, which is on the printer itself, which makes the printer kind of print a little slower. Again, it's worth it. It makes it grip the paper less. It allows the ink time to dry as it's rolling through those rollers. Helps with those little pin marks that you might see. So definitely turn that on as well. And grab a couple of sheets of this paper. I know we're kind of far into this video already. This is what the paper looks like unused and untouched. Hasn't been printed on yet. I mean, you guys can see from that shine. There you go. It's just really, really good. I mean, it's got some good weight to it. I mean, you can tell it's going to be some good cardstock once you do print on it. Now that we have the very fresh, I mean, like, you know, if you heard that, the printer's still making a noise after it got done printing. And I mean, just beautiful. Let me see if I can get this thing to focus. I mean, the print quality, guys, second to none. Printer's recalibrating itself right now. I set it back to letter after I was done with the A4. But, I mean, just look at this, guys. Look at the quality. I mean, it is, again, basic settings. Now, I will point out, I do some color correction and upscaling of the images before I print them, but that has nothing to do with the printer itself. And when they're cut out, what happens is you get these. So these right here are the cards once they get cut out. Again, I want to caliper these for you guys. Again, my caliper is old school. It's not digital. It is in thousandths, which is inches for those that are in Europe. I'm sorry. So 14 for a proxy. And I do have a real card here to show you guys. A real card is slimmer at about 12. Not sure you guys can see that. Take my word for it. It is at a 12. Now, what's important about this is it is about 20%, maybe 15 to 20% thicker than a normal card. Having said that, once you put a sleeve on it, it's almost, depending upon how thick your sleeve is, on average, they're only about 10% thicker. The proxies are only about 10% thicker overall. So you're like, a normal deck will be just a tenth bigger than your average deck, which is like nothing when it comes to the proxy stuff. So again, I think this paper is fantastic. I do want to give you guys a quick test here. So again, this is a real magic card. Come on, focus. There we go. This is a real magic card. I'm going to bring it over to my microphone. Maybe you guys can hear it. That's a real card. That's the proxy. I mean, basically the same. Let me give you guys a little bit of a test here. As you guys can see, the exact same size. You can't tell a difference in terms of the size of the card. They're perfect. The corners are perfect and everything. In terms of the rigidity, I mean, it's so hard to tell. I mean, if I had to close my eyes and guess, it would be incredibly difficult. And once you put them in a sleeve, you almost just can't tell. You just can't. I mean, they're almost perfectly identical once you put them in that sleeve. I mean, they're just so close. I mean, you could I'm gonna be honest, you could probably play these unsleeved. Oh, one of the things I want to test. Oh, kind of cheating. It's dried for about 2 minutes, but you guys hear me. I'm pressing. You hear me like making the ripple noise. And guess what? Nothing. Look at this. I mean, you're just simply not getting this quality and ease of access with other papers. I mean, the price, sure. I mean, you could spend less and do the whole lamination process and stuff like that. But I mean, you could print out a whole deck like this in like 20 minutes, I mean, it is quite amazing, guys. It really, really is. Let me pull this mic back so it sounds a little better. Just going back to my notes here. Again, we already went through the thickness and everything. We went through the rigidity, the flick test and all that. I mean, it is amazing. And again, once they're sleeved, you're not going to notice anything. I mean, you could stick them in with a deck of real cards. You would not notice. I mean, you would have to go out of your way to notice it. That's the only way. In terms of the cost, so right now, Cody is selling these for about 60 cents a page. It's about $12 for a 20-pack bundle. And if you buy at least 5 bundles, there's no cost for shipping or anything like that. So if you at least buy 5 bundles, no shipping cost, which is great. So big shout out to him for that. Capable of, and how great the quality is. I will say, when you are using this paper with the Cameo cutting machine or any of your cutting machines you have out there, you want to get a less sticky mat to use. You want to have it to be a low stick content, because 2 reasons. Number one, if you're doing a double-sided card, you don't want the side you're putting down on the piece of paper to peel off the ink. Now, this ink is on here pretty sturdily. I mean, we already tested that, right? I mean, it was only on here for like less than a minute, and I mean, there's nothing. I mean, it is fantastic. Pow! It does require our rear feeding printer. I mean, you're not going to be able to take this. I mean, I'll do it, I guess. I mean, Cody, I'm very, very sorry, but so like, if you take this paper through one of those printers and it does that thing where it feeds and then it bends, I mean, it'll just crease and it'll mess up the image. That's no good. You have to have a rear feeder for a printer. Otherwise, this page is just going to get ruined. You don't want to be bending this. You want to have it flex as least as possible. Again, if you want to be able to print, cut, and go, not have to worry about all the extra steps. Having said that, I will say, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being a magic card, a real one, I would give this paper's stiffness and snap. I would give it, that's the real, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I mean, again, 10 is a real magic card. You're never going to get there with to say that. It's probably possible at some point. But in terms of printing today and proxies and getting it for this price, I mean, I'm going to give these an 8 out of 10 for the edges are just, I mean, I can't even paper cut myself. It's so smooth. I mean, I'm not going to actually try, but I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I mean, is it better than as good as a magic card? I mean, I don't want to say it is, but I mean, it's right there. I mean, I think it actually might be smoother than a real magic card, but I'm not going to give it a 10. That's a weird thing to do. I will give it a 9 for the way it cuts. I mean, just beautiful. The cards, when they're within a sleeve, I'm going to tell you right now, amazing. I mean, when it isn't a sleeve compared to a real card or whatever, no one's going to be able to tell. I mean, if you have to give your card, your opponent, one of your friends your card to look at or to feel, I mean, if they steal your card with one of their abilities or something, whatever, they're not going to notice. They're going to pick it up, play it, use it, whatever they got to do. I mean, listen to this, guys. That's the fake. That's the real. I mean, indistinguishable. And again, let's look at the, again, I didn't show this earlier, but I mean, on here, it's 22 thousandths on here. Again, it's not millimeters. I'm sorry. I don't have the technology right now. That's 22 thousandths. This is about 25 thousandths. Again, barely a difference. It's like 10%. It's like 10% difference. Those are like fractions, 1/10. So you're not going to notice it once it's in the sleeve. That's one of the best parts about this paper. You just print it, cut it, put it in the sleeve, done. As for the sleeve feel, again, I give that one a 9. So the ease of use, that's what this paper is all about. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I mean, the only thing easier than this is going and buying proxy that's already made or buying a real card, because print, cut, done is it. In terms of proxying, it does not get easier than that. For someone to physically proxy a card and not to do the extra steps, I got to give it a 9 out of 10, because it's, I mean, 9.5 if I could. 9. We're going to go, that's all you need to know. I mean, the ease of use on these is 9 out of 10 for sure. Now, for me, the value, I'm going to give it an 8, because again, it is slightly more expensive than doing your own thing with cheap paper and laminating and all that. I'm sure it's a few cents more per card. Now, this is subjective for the value. I'm giving it an 8, but for you, it could be a 10. Are you out there? Are you proxying hundreds of cards or thousands of cards? This is probably a 10 out of 10 value. Again, can only go up to a 9, but I would say this is probably an extreme value for you. Now, if you're out there and you are really, really trying to make budget magic cards, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you enjoy doing the lamination process and all that stuff and wasting hours to get out a fourth of a commander deck. Maybe you won't value this as high. For me, I'm going to average it around an 8. For some of you, it can be a 10. For some of you, it could be lower. Again, that's more, value is more subjective to what you are trying to accomplish and what you are trying to do. Overall, we're going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. That's an amazing rating. I mean, think about it. There's crappy papers out there. There's good papers out there that are too expensive. I mean, 8.5 out of 10 is probably about as good as it's going to get here on this channel until something blows my mind. And I know I just started here in terms of videos. I have tested other papers. I've never given them official reviews or anything, because I just started the channel. But I have tested other stuff, and right now, this is the paper. And to get it, message Cody. He's got the paper. He's got it from a week from now. He's got a big stock coming in. He's probably going to get more after that, obviously. Get it in now before, goes out of stock and has to go get more. I'm sure he'll get more. I'm just saying you might have to wait depending upon when you order. Great paper. Cody's a great guy. I do believe this paper could be being sold somewhere else, like one other place in the Western Hemisphere. But I do know that Cody is selling the exact same paper cheaper to people. So he is the person to get it from. Make sure that's where you get it. And again, his information will be in the description below. Now, like I said, 8.5 out of 10. Anybody printing complete decks at home, this is the way to go. And I guess that's it. This is the Proxy Crucible. Thanks for watching.